We're all turning to television, digital media, forms of media to find out what is going on. We also talked about how Fox News has covered this story, how right-wing media outlets have been covering the coronavirus crisis, because there has been an incredible U-turn in the past couple of weeks in Fox News Channel's coverage of the virus, especially the primetime shows. Sean Hannity's, Laura Ingram's, Jeanine Pirro's on the weekend. The way they talked about this emergency a few weeks ago versus today is remarkable. And the Washington Post created a video to try to show you what I mean. They've created this incredible supercut video showing you what Pirro and others were saying a week or two ago versus today. Let me just show you a clip of it.
All the talk about coronavirus being so much more deadly doesn't reflect reality. Without a vaccine, the flu would be far more deadly. We are facing an incredibly contagious and dangerous virus that is moving across the world from one hotspot to another.
Oh, let's bludgeon Trump with this new hoax. This program has always taken the coronavirus seriously, and we've never called the virus a hoax.
Then versus now. Look at the polling here. Pew found that Republicans were far more likely to say that the media has been exaggerating the risks of this outbreak versus Democrats. Republicans far more likely to say it's being exaggerated. You could draw a straight line from the commentary from the Hannitys of the world right to that finding. Let's talk more about it now with with former Fox News contributor. That makes all the difference. Former Fox News contributor Julie Roginsky. She's a Democratic strategist. Also with me is Max Boot. He's a columnist for the Washington Post and a CNN global affairs analyst. Julie, I saw you on Twitter saying that how Fox has handled this has been worse than malpractice. Who specifically and why?
Well, for all the reasons you just mentioned, and not just the reasons that you mentioned earlier, but even as recently as yesterday, you had Bret Baier, who's a respected anchor at Fox News, and Brit Hume, who obviously was one of the founders of Fox News, tweeting out something written by a former Romney staffer who effectively was saying that this is a little overblown. It's not a big deal. We shouldn't really look at this as something that's overblown. And that becomes something that's very problematic because the Fox News viewership is on average 65 years old. They are people who are much more susceptible than the average person as a result of their age to the virus. And they're doing a disservice to their own viewers. I think that's the biggest problem of all in this quest to protect the president, in this quest to make it look like the president is doing everything right.
But they've turned it around. They've turned it around. They brought on doctors and experts. Is it too little, too late?
Well, it's not. No, it's never too late. And I'm glad they're doing that now, but they're not turning it around because the problem is that when you have somebody like Bret Baier, who I have a lot of respect for, and Brit Hume and others, tweeting out effectively theories from somebody who's unqualified to give them, somebody who's not an epidemiologist, somebody who's not a medical professional, and saying, hey, look, we may be making this overblown. This may not be a big deal. And then this takes off like a wildfire to the point where Medium had to take down this thing that they were tweeting out because it apparently was giving out such poor information. They continue to put people at risk. Why not just listen to Dr. Fauci and to other epidemiologists? Stop spinning this as a political attack on the president. Stop trying to downplay this. This is not a joke. I've heard from people on social media, former Fox viewers who are still in touch with me, who for months have said that this is no big deal, that this is a Democratic hoax to try to take down the president. And instead of saying, look, we have to do the right thing by our own audience, our vulnerable, aged audience, they continue to equivocate and say, well, maybe this is a big deal, but maybe it's not as big a deal as other people have said. Right. Maybe this is just something political. That's not right. It's not right towards their own audience. They need to stop.
Yeah, I've got one friend in the ICU, 3 other friends